great to see you, man. Thanks for joining us.
Appreciate you having me.
Absolutely. We just talked to Nussmeier and just talked to him about some of the spring competition that's going on. But from your standpoint individually, tell me kind of how you ended up back home. How did you end up back here at LSU?
So basically, when I put my name in the transfer portal, LSU was the first school to call me and offer me a scholarship. It was Coach Sloan and Coach Cooks. It was the first school to offer me a scholarship. They got me up here on a visit, and just seeing my family smile, when I had my whole family out here, my mom, my dad, grandma, grandpa, sister, everybody was out here, and just seeing them smile, being able to see them, being able for them to come 45 minutes away every weekend is just, something. So I just made that move.
Yeah. How about the recruiting part of it? When they were recruiting you out of the portal, how did they sell to you how they were going to use you? Your versatility seems to be one of your biggest tools, one of your biggest assets.
For sure. Coach Cooks, he kept harping on me about moving me around and just showing the player that I really am. No disrespect to the University of Arkansas, but I wasn't used in the right way.
Yeah.
I wasn't used in the right scheme, but now I'm used perfect, and it's just been going great for me. Been making plays all over the field.
Matt House, defensive coordinator. What type of impact has he made on you here early on? What have you heard from him? What have you seen from his scheme?
Great impact. That's my guy. I have had some family issues go on, and he's just been there for me and understands everything. He gets on me about being more vocal. So that's something I'm gonna work on this offseason. But his scheme is great, and I feel like we're gonna make a whole bunch of plays just because we're gonna play hard for him. That's the type of coach he is.
Mekhi Gardner came and sat in that chair last week. He was talking about the mentality that you guys are building on that defensive side of the ball. What are your thoughts after coming out of spring, seeing that secondary and seeing some of the guys that are in competition?
My thoughts are great. Our mentality is just to hunt every play. I'm pretty sure Mekhi, spoke on that. Tackle. That's the biggest harp that Coach House has. Tackle, tackle, tackle. So for our secondary, we need to bring that swagger back and just hunt every play.
We keep hearing about Robert Steeples, Coach Steeples. What is it about him that is making such an impact on you guys?
He brings energy. He's not one of the guys that's gonna have a different energy a certain type of day. So that's what's so good about him, and he relates to us. He was a high school teacher and stuff like that, so he knows how we are and knows what goes on in our life.
What about Tyrann Mathieu going to the Saints, bro?
That's hard. He texted me the other day, and
really?
It's just like, just seeing him come back home and be a neighborhood hero. That's awesome.
What was that like, having him come and speak to the program?
That was great for us. Just hearing his story and stuff like that, and it motivated a lot of us. It motivated me probably the most out of everybody because I always looked up to him. We similar in size and stuff like that, but it motivated us for sure.
New Orleans, he's very New Orleans. He feels New Orleans. He is New Orleans. You have that draw to you. What is it like being back home and being around family? What does family, community, and the city of New Orleans mean to you?
It just motivates me even more just to, play better. Like, I'm playing for the state of Louisiana. I'm playing for the city of New Orleans, And New Orleans playing, doing something with your life is a big deal. So I'm trying to take it to the next level with that.
Absolutely.
How much does it mean you mentioned like you're from New Orleans, and I feel like a lot of the people that Brian Kelly brought from the portal are all Louisiana guys. Mm-hmm. Do you kind of feel that in the locker room that this is, you feel like you maybe not have known everybody, but y'all are all kind of from the Louisiana collective? Does that kind of feel that way through the locker room?
Most definitely. All Louisiana guys relate in a certain way, different mindsets and stuff like that. But I feel like we definitely connected within the locker room.
What's the experience of NIL been like for you? I mean, you're kind of an experienced guy. You've seen college football when it was, you guys were strictly not allowed to touch anything that was advantage for you. Now you're encouraged to go out there and find money for things that you can endorse. What's this experience been like for you?
It's been great. Shout out to Gordon,
man.
Big Gordon, get it done.
Get it done.
Absolutely.
Got my shirt on right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's been great. I'm probably gonna sign with somebody really soon, so we definitely been making that happen.
Gordon has been great for NIL, especially for a lot of you guys who are on the roster. What did it mean in recruiting for you?
It didn't mean nothing to me in recruitment.
Yeah.
You know, all sorts of schools was talking about NIL stuff.
Really, were they really?
Yes, sir.
What was your portal experience like? What was that experience like going into the portal?
You know, hella offers, you know, but it came down to LSU, USC, and Texas.
Why? What was it about? Was it just the relationships with the coaches?
Yes. Texas DB coach actually coached my dad in high school.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was kind of, you know.
Wow, that was a big. That's a big win for Brian Kelly. What about Coach Kelly? What about him has stood out?
You know, he's just a down to earth guy. You know, he doesn't really talk a lot sometimes, but I like him a lot. You know, he gets his point across and he gets what he wants done. And I feel like as a coach, in order to be a good team, the team has to respect you. So I feel like he's doing a good job with that.
What's your emphasis on improving this offseason? What are you looking to work on?
Just improving my game mentally. You know, expecting the play to come. You know, stuff like that, and also get stronger.
Big Kobe Bryant fan, right?
Yeah, for sure.
How does that go into the Mamba mentality? Do you buy into that? I mean, is you trying to create that?
I wouldn't say I'm trying to create that. I'm just trying to, you know, follow my own path and create my own mentality. You know what I'm saying? So when my time is done, other people look up to me and want to have my mentality that I had approaching the game.
Anybody standing out to you after the first 15 practices in spring? I mean, guys, new teammates for you, whether it be on the defensive side of the ball or even on the offensive side of the ball. Anybody that you say, you know what, come fall, this cat's gonna be tough to stop.
A defensive guy would have to be Mathieu Wingo. That's one guy that y'all gotta keep your eyes on for sure. His name's always popping up within the room when we're in our defensive meetings. And of course, you know, the whole secondary guys like Makai, Joe Fouché, and Jay Ward and Matt. Matt's made a big improvement. And also Sage Ryan.
Who'd you say, Matt?
Mm-hmm.
Who's Matt Langlois?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, because he was getting criticized a little bit for his spring game. Or, you know, I mean, people were kind of running him over, but I don't think people realize how much weight he's put on since recruiting.
Right.
You know, to get to where he is now. Talk a little bit about him.
Right. You know, Matt, he's come a long way. You know, he caused like 3 turnovers in the last 2 practices. You know what I'm saying? And the spring game, we only ran 1 coverage, so you really can't really tell what we're doing. Yeah. So you know, I feel like that didn't mean anything.
How many picks did you have in spring, bro? It felt like every day you were getting a pick.
I think like 6 or 7.
Yeah.
Within, but I had like 5 in like the first four practices.
Yeah. I mean, they got you in the right spot, right? I mean, it's gonna be fun to watch, man. It's gonna be fun to watch.
Hella fun to watch. Trust
over
me.
the next couple of.
How much does it feel like you've been freed up playing for LSU, as opposed to you said like you feel like you're in the wrong spot? What's kind of changed whenever you got to LSU in the defensive scheme in your mind?
I'm just able to like be versatile. You know, I'm around the ball a lot more. In the pass game a lot more, and it's just like it's better for me. You know what I'm saying? I don't have as much of a responsibility, and that's the best part about my game.
You get to play a little bit like the Badger.
Exactly,
kind of
like
around, yeah.
Exactly, like you know, Coach House comes from the Chiefs, and when Tyrann came down, we had talked about that.
That was yeah, man. It makes a lot of sense in that position. Joe Fouché is a guy also. You're his teammate transferring down from Arkansas. Y'all got to be excited about this together, right?
Mm-hmm. You know, he's been my roommate for the past 3 years. And we talked about it as soon as we put our names in the portal. You know, we talked about going back home, and we just made it happen. You know, he did it before me. I wasn't quite just ready yet, but yeah, we made that happen.
Greg, it's great to meet you, man.
Yes, sir. I appreciate y'all having me.
Yeah, man. What has been the strength staff like here at LSU? I don't know. You didn't know Moffitt, but he was a guy that was here forever. What have you made from Coach Flint?
Those guys are amazing. You know, they help me a lot. You know, I take care of my body a whole lot. And before every practice, I get my body rolled. They make sure I'm good no matter what. And Coach Flint, he creating a standard. You know what I'm saying? Everything's like scientific data. You know, so we always track everything, and I like that a lot. You know, we didn't have that at Arkansas, so I feel like he's doing great.
I'm not trying to get you in any trouble. You don't have to give me a name. Nussmeier just left, and it seems like it's great competition at that quarterback spot. What did you make of that quarterback competition over the last couple of weeks?
Most definitely. All three of the guys are actually doing well. You know, one day Miles will have a 3 60-yard touchdowns. The next day, Jaden Daniels gonna run for 4 touchdowns. And another day, Nuts would do the same thing Miles is doing. So you know what I'm saying? It's a great competition. I can't wait to see who we have back there.
Have a great offseason, bro.
You know that.
Open invitation here anytime you want to come use the platform and get your message out. It's great to talk to you. Great to meet you. Welcome home.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you for having me.
Greg Brooks, LSU defensive back at LSU, transferring in from Arkansas.